Hello, my name is David Moss, and welcome to One Thing, a presentation devoted to the philosophies of life and work, leadership and management, business and education. Gain new thoughts, ideas, and insights to advance your professional career. Employee engagement, tapping into your company's most valuable asset. I've been hearing a lot of talk about employee engagement. As I read articles and I talk to companies, I believe there's a misunderstanding what it means to have engaged employees. Companies are trying to create different workspaces. They're changing the physical environment by making a more pleasing area to work. Some companies actually believe they can buy their employees' engagement by offering additional money or benefits. Although a pleasing workspace and additional money and benefits are always welcome, they do not flip the switch of engaging employees. What does engagement mean? According to Webster's, engagement is a state of emotional involvement. Employee engagement, according to Wikipedia, is a product of the relationship between the organization and its employees. An engaged employee is one who is fully absorbed by and enthusiastic about their work and take positive actions to further the organization's reputation and interests. An engaged employee has a positive attitude towards the organization and its values. When you are an engaged employee, your work focus moves from your mind to your heart. When you engage an employee, you ignite their passion. Nothing is more important than a passionate warrior. It's not about the pleasing benefits or extra money that a company throws at their employees. It's about having a relationship and an emotional connection. Emotional relationships are formed when barriers between management and employees are torn down, removing the idea of us versus them. There are several proactive factors that create an environment of engagement. The first factor in creating an environment of engagement is the employee's personal perception of themselves and their work. Positive perceptions that an individual holds of their personal strengths and ability is a key factor for engagement. If an employee feels inadequate in their abilities to do the job, they will withdraw and become invisible. Instead of giving it their all, they simply put in their time and go home. Fortunately, this is something that can easily be fixed with an engaged supervisor. When you see an employee who is struggling, identify the problem or weakness and provide additional training or continuing education. Sometimes it's hard to fit a square peg into a round hole. Offering a different position that is more suited to an employee's strengths can provide huge benefits to both the company and the employee. This situation, however, must be handled with great care and good intentions. This can easily cause bruised ego and hurt feelings. In order to create a win-win for everyone, there must not be any feelings of punishment or demotion. The second factor that creates an environment of engagement is the employee's perception of how important their job is to the organization. An employee's attitude toward their job's importance has a great impact on the relationship they have with the company. Everyone wants to feel important and their efforts are appreciated. If the employee feels insignificant and their work has little value on the overall success of the company, they feel separated from the team. This is an easy fix, starting from the top and working down. A simple word of appreciation and a pat on the back goes further than any other incentive you can offer your employees. Everyone in the organization, from the mailroom to the top office, is important to the success of any company. Companies are like machines with cogs rotating together in harmony. A single cog goes out, the entire machine breaks down. Same with the company. The reason a position is created is because there was a need. A company needs a reception to greet guests and organize the flow of people into the building. A company needs building maintenance and housekeeping to assure things are clean and well maintained. A company needs warehouse workers to ensure smooth flow of products into and out of the organization. A company needs sales professionals because without them, you would have no business. If just one of these positions breaks down, chaos would run through the entire organization. Everyone is important to the success of a company. Make sure you let every employee know how important they are and recognize them. When I think of job importance, I think of Herb Kelleher, founder and CEO of Southwest Airlines. Herb was famous for walking around the company. You never know when he would show up at a ticket counter to help customers alongside with the ticket agents. Herb frequently showed up to help baggage handlers move bags on and off the plane. He was beloved because he took an interest in his valued employees. He not only worked alongside them, more importantly, he listened to them. Herb understood the importance of making every member of the Southwest team feel important. The third factor that creates an environment of engagement is making sure everyone's job is clearly defined and understood. If expectations are not clear, frustration and resentment will result, and the employee will become focused on surviving more than thinking about how they can help the organization succeed. Employees cannot be held accountable unless they have a clear understanding of their job and the company processes needed to perform that job, as well as the results that are expected of them. A stressful and unhappy professional life centers on being unsure that you're doing what is expected. When there are insecurities about job performance because of the uncertainties of duties, people shut down and they begin a predictable, self-destructing cycle. Perceived poor performance leads to poor communication, which leads to paranoia, which leads to a bad attitude, which leads to a higher level of poor performance. An error managers often make is the assumption that everyone is on the same page and has a clear understanding of their role. This is a challenge for even the most senior managers. Strong and continuous communication is critical for success when dealing with job expectations. A pat on the back of recognition for a job well done reinforces positive performance. Feedback, training, and mentorship can gently instill needed adjustments in job duties. Ongoing communications is the key to developing high-performance teams. Most people rise to the level of expectation. When a job is clearly defined, communicated, and reinforced with accountability, people will thrive and in most cases exceed expectations. The fourth factor that creates an environment of engagement is having career planning and advancement opportunities for your employees. Everyone aspires to advance in their career for a multitude of reasons, including title, respect, power, fame, and fortune. No matter your aspiration, everyone hopes to improve their current financial positions. We all strive for financial security. For employee engagement, there needs to be a carrot to chase or something to shoot for. Career paths and career plans should be created for every employee in your organization. Supervisors should meet with new employees and develop a customized career path and plan based on the individual's current and future skills, as well as their expectation and commitment to their own success. Careers are a result of ambition and priorities. Career paths and plans should be dynamic by nature and should be adjusted as the employee moves along their careers. Once the career path has been defined and a plan has been developed, progress can be monitored during quarterly or annual reviews. By having a written career path and a defined career plan, employees know what is needed to keep their careers moving forward. A career path will motivate everyone in the organization to push harder and achieve more. Not to be overlooked is the psychological effect career planning has on individuals. By developing a career path and plan, employees feel valued and appreciated. The fear of the unknown is diminished, and future success can be visualized. A great example of a company that engages employees with career planning is Shell Oil, located in Houston, Texas. Shell Oil has managers that help guide careers of their teams, along with many tools for self-improvement on a personal and professional level. Employees are encouraged to participate in town hall meetings. In addition, they keep their employees up to date on business results and goals. Southwest Airlines in Dallas, Texas is another excellent example of a company providing career planning for their employees. They built a 492,000 square foot, $120 million technical, training, and operational support facility devoted to the continuing education of their employees. They call it Southwestern Airlines University, which provides opportunities for employees to learn and grow throughout their career. As a result, Southwest Airlines has less than 2% voluntary turnover rate. Providing career planning is the most important step a company can take to engage their employees. The fifth factor that creates an environment of engagement is constructive feedback with a positive attitude. Feedback is the key to giving employees a sense of where they're going. Managers are not trained at giving positive and constructive feedback. Some managers don't have the confidence to provide feedback, and others have not learned the art of diplomacy of providing feedback that is not taken as personal criticism. Criticism is always perceived as a personal attack and a blow to the ego. There is an art to providing constructive, negative feedback that will communicate the need to change without damaging self-esteem while encouraging ownership of the situation. Some believe that direct and upfront is the best course of action, while others dance around the issue. Both instances are unwise techniques to handle negative or constructive feedback. Because there are many ways to look at a situation, a process, a procedure, or a problem, a wise manager will guide their team member to a different way, a different thought, or a different idea. Looking at something from a different perspective could cause an automatic change in behavior from the team member. It is important to realize, as a manager, you have more experience. Not only do you know more, you have knowledge of the big picture that the employee is not privy to. For these reasons, you can provide a better perspective for the employee and solid reasons for the needed change. A simple and easy technique to offer alternative views is to say, "Have you considered looking at the situation this way?" This allows you to introduce the needed correction without the confrontation of a perceived personal attack. When handling constructive feedback with a positive attitude, employees feel like they have supporters rather than supervisors. Employees that feel their supervisors support them are 67% more engaged. The sixth factor that creates an environment of engagement is the importance of having a positive working relationship with your supervisors. The most important relationship in business is the relationship between boss and employee. We've all heard, happy wife, happy life. The relationship you have with your spouse is the most important personal relationship you can have. In business, we should be saying, happy employee, happy success. A huge key for happy employees is a positive relationship with the boss. Because of the professional hierarchy of a company, the boss is responsible for positive relationships within the company. Managers should be proactive with their employees in developing strong, positive relationships. Unfortunately, building relationships is not easy. Relationships take time and effort. However, there are several easy tips to build and strengthen relationships. The first, communications. Strong, consistent, and constant communication is important to building trust, which is the foundation of all relationships. Communication reveals expectation and conveys positive reinforcement. Communication expresses gratitude and it educates. Communication removes ambiguity and allows for better understanding. Most importantly, Communication commands respect. The second tip in building and in strengthening relationship is honesty and transparency. Without honesty, there can be no trust. Without trust, there cannot be a positive relationship. Transparency is vital to a strong relationship. As a manager, you're kidding yourself if you believe your employees cannot sense changes or you can keep something from them. Someone always finds out and tells other people. The most dangerous situation is when the employee knows a partial truth. With a small part of the truth, employees will assume the worst and convince themselves that the sky is falling. Very seldom is the truth as bad as the perception of a partial truth. Third, have an attitude of servitude. As a manager, you are support to your employees. Your job is to make sure employees have what they need for them to be successful. If you serve your employees, you will command respect, loyalty, and trust. Fourth, as Teddy Roosevelt said, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Take a genuine interest in the lives of your employees. Get to know them and their families. Find out about their interests and hobbies. Help them in their career path and planning. And finally, treat your employee as you would like to be treated by your boss. Be patient, kind, understanding, and forgiving. If employees' relationship with their managers are fractured, then nothing will persuade the employee to perform at top levels. Employee engagement is a direct reflection on how an employee perceives their relationship with the boss. The seventh factor that creates an environment of engagement is the employee's perception of the philosophy and values of the organization. An organization's inspirations and values are the basis for company culture. Many times, corporate values are expressed in the organization's mission or vision statement. A vision statement is a detailed but brief glimpse of where the company will be in the future or where the company is going. A mission statement is the company's outline of what the company aspires to be and how they're going to achieve their aspirations, or how is the company going to get where they are going. In addition, companies should have value statements outlining their core values, principles, and issues that are important to the company or who the company is. In short, a vision statement shows where the company is going. A mission statement explains how the company is going to get where they want to go, and a value statement states who the company is. Whether it is written down or not, whether it is publicly stated or not, every company is based and built on vision, mission, and values. When intertwined together, they clearly define a company. It is important that management from the top down embodies the concepts and ideas outlined in the mission, vision, and value statements. If management does not walk the talk and represent the company's philosophies, value, and ideals, the various statements are merely words and have no meaning. An example of management disregarding their expressed high standards is Wells Fargo. Their vision was, we want to satisfy our customers' financial needs and help them succeed financially with the following values. What's right for the customer? We place customers at the center of everything we do. We want to exceed customer expectations and build relationships that last a lifetime. People as a competitive edge. We strive to attract, develop, motivate, and retain the best team members and collaborate across business and functions to serve customers. Ethics. We're committed to the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and principled performance. We do the right thing in the right way and hold ourselves accountable. Carrie Tolstead, head of Wells Fargo's Community Bank, created a model for sales performance with unreasonably high sales goals that could not be achieved. Tolstead escalated pressures to perform where bankers, branch managers, and district managers received pay cuts if they did not hit their goals. Whenever a colleague raised concerns about the high targets, Tolstead ignored them. She did not accept any criticism of her and the bank's toxic culture. Tolstead's leadership gave an impression that sales were the only way one could succeed. Because pressure was pushed down from the top, Wells Fargo's culture tumbled. Instead of adhering to the high standards, employees were encouraged and forced to employ unethical practices. After more than 10 years, in 2016, Wells Fargo confessed to creating 3.5 million fake accounts in their customers' names for credit cards and other banking services. The fraudulent activities ruined the lives of millions of people who suffered foreclosures, bankruptcies, payments of unknown fees, lower credit scores, and lost employment. Because Wells Fargo's management did not embrace the high values and philosophy of the companies, employee engagement was non-existent with a 42% turnover rate. On the other hand, if management reflects the standards and principles of the organization, it results in the mission, vision, and value statement coming to life and becoming infused into the culture. Chick-fil-A founder S. Truett Cathy stated, "We should be about more than just selling chicken. We should be a part of our customers' lives and the communities in which we serve." Chick-fil-A's mission statement is simple and impactful: to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that He has entrusted to us, to be a positive influence on all who come into contact with Chick-fil-A. Because everyone within the Chick-fil-A organization enthusiastically walks the talk of high standards, they've become one of the fastest growing fast food chains in the country, with over $10.7 billion in food sales last year, with an average sale per store of $4.4 million, 4 times higher than their competitor KFC. Chick-fil-A is the 8th largest fast food chain, with other fast food operations working 7 days a week. Chick-fil-A is dominating the market, closed on Sundays, working only 6 days a week. With an employee turnover rate of half that of the fast food industry standards, Chick-fil-A is the embodiment of their values and is on display in every employee. Employee engagement is a fundamental shift of professional motivation by tapping into the emotional ownership of a job. Nothing is more powerful than an emotional, passionate employee who takes personal responsibility for their company's success. Employee engagement is the secret to flipping the switch to ignite an employee's superpowers. Thank you for listening to our 7-part series on employee engagement, tapping into your company's most valuable asset. If you missed an episode, please go to YouTube channel One Thing with David Moz for a complete listing of past videos. If you enjoyed this presentation, please provide a thumbs up and share this presentation with your family, friends, and coworkers. In addition, please leave your comments, thoughts, and ideas. Don't forget, hit the red subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. Please follow me for daily education and inspiration on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Have an outstanding day and make a difference in the world around you. This is David Moz. Thank you for tuning in to One Thing.